All right, cyber traders, welcome on back. This spooky edition of our afternoon meeting. Great to see all of our students and members alike. Friday the 13th, of course, I'm referring to, but we have Michael, Grant, Chuck, Manuel. We have all of us just here otherwise. Great to have all of us back on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube. Let me get the webcam popping up right now. I ended up just finishing producing a video that will be on our YouTube channel very shortly. Actually, a little indicator discussion there. So I look forward to having a little discussion with you folks once you watch that. But with that in mind, folks, let's hop right into this list here. So NEGG, N-E-G-G, this is actually a familiar name. Maybe not to a lot of us that are new students, but if you've been around the block with CTU, you know that this was a meme stock back in 2021 with AMC, GameStop, and the likes. So, hey, we're familiar with this trade, and I'll say it here. I'll probably say it on a couple of other stocks that we'll go through. But hey, it's already doing it. But if this stock can make a fraction of the type of pop that it had made for us back in mid of 21, we'll take it. So, it's already up 91%. How much higher could it keep going? I don't know. We got time, right? I mean, we saw BBAI yesterday, all these different trades from the last month now at this point. So this could certainly go higher. Now, one thing with that in mind, though, is that I was calling it out just before. Manuel ended up hitting it head on. Thankfully, it ended up running up for Manuel, one of our new members here, to get out on a trade right from 250. I was in the same trade as Manuel, but I ended up getting out off of 275. I didn't know if it was going to squeeze all the way up to my target resistance, but I was happy to take the money and run. So with NEGG, let me just pull this up on level 4 on Bookmap here pretty quick. So you could see we had a pretty deep iceberg here, for about 35, 30, a hell of a lot more than that, 66,000 shares in total. And with that, it got pulled, right? It ended up getting pulled from the book here, went from like dark red to like a ghost blue white. So it means it got pulled. With that in mind, though, you should still consider that to be resistance. It wasn't necessarily there for a long amount of time, but unless if that order itself starts getting played around with, you see it all over the heat map, which, we didn't necessarily see, I'd still expect this 285 to be resistant. So that's what I was typing to all of us inside the trading room just before. It ended up running up to this iceberg that had popped up a little after at 75. So I thought it was going to make a pop and drop from there and not give me what I really wanted. So I got 25 cents out of it, Manuel. You got 35 cents. Nice catch from him. So with that in mind, it's beginning to pull back now. So we'll see if this can make a higher low, a push up higher into the close up towards 3. Put this on our watch list, at least for now. All right, so let's go from top to bottom. There's another meme stock again. See it right here, number 2, SDC Smile Direct Club. I forgot that this thing dropped off as much as it did. So also from 2021, not as much as like AMC, but this being a weekly chart, you could see it ended up having a pretty strong pop and drop here. It was the same time as AMC and GameStop and Bed Bath Beyond at that time, but yeah, I mean, this thing fell below $1. So normally we don't tend to focus on the cheapies, like the ones priced below 1. It's making a strong little move right now. So, hey, if you personally want to follow it, or if you've done well consistently on this trade over the last few trading days, then I'd be inclined to think that you're going to follow it. But we didn't really have this on our watch list, did we? I don't think anyone here in this chat board was consistently trading this stock the last few days. That's what I wanted to mention there. So we'll keep going. BTCM, Bit Mining. You think this is a Bitcoin-related stock? So Bitcoin ended up having another nice push-up once again today. Markets are like grinding on up right now, so we'll see how long that will last. Actually, in the video that's most recently on our YouTube channel right now with my favorite indicator from tradingview.com. I'll go over why I think that Bitcoin's going to pull back a little bit more locally here over the next week or so. But BTCM is having a great day today. We're going to find a bunch of these cheapies that got beat up with Bitcoin at the time. BT, more of a morning move. I know Brian had like 40, 50 cents on this Hive trade. We had this on our watch list yesterday at some point. Mara popped up from the morning. That one's not looking as good now, of course. So, hey, that BTCM in particular, it's at the highs. I just wish the spread or the order book entirely was more liquid. So I don't have a great need to put this on our watch list right now, especially with the others not really making as good of a move. So we'll see what else we can get. ZVSA. There's one move that I made today that I'm extremely happy about. It's not necessarily a trade that I took. It's a trade that I didn't take. And this thing was just a mess in pre-market. Look at this. So even after it's starting to wiggle back up here after a shake, maybe one could think it can make a pop and run. It just resumed its choppy trend sideways. So, unless if the roof really explodes off of this, and in that case, maybe I'll even miss it at that point. But unless if that happens, I don't think we're going to be missing too much. I think we're going to see this resume its personality that it had from pre-market, that being just choppy. So ZVSA will pass. QBTS, we had a nice move at least, in the morning on this trade. Little pop from 175 up to 2. Unfortunately, it came back down pretty quick. You got the EH trade. Ended up making a nice steady push from opening to right now, or at least just before. A nasty little shakedown towards 1650, trying to snap back up towards 17 here. So it's volatile enough. It's up big. It has, a little thin of a book, but it's active enough. So I don't mind putting this on our main list with the NEGG trade. Let's see what else we got. Got a bunch of cheapies kind of sprinkled in here, so we'll try and skip over those. Former runner from yesterday and the day before that, BWEN, up once again today. I don't think we really had called this one out. If anything, maybe Rich did when I wasn't looking, but ended up making more of a grind of a run back up where I would have wanted a better pop. So hopefully hopefully you can give it to us heading into the close. It's still up near the highs of the day, right off 550. So I don't mind slipping this on here at least. I like the other two more though. Definitely like that NEGG trade so long as we continue to see higher lows. That's definitely like the top of the watch list right there. All right, so let's see what else we got though here. SHPH from the morning. It's not doing anything right now. Former runner from last month, SMMT. It's at the highs today. Hey, it actually made a really strong recovery from Wednesday's pop and drop that it had. So I'll tell you, hopefully this can start trading a little bit more volume per minute over the next hour, but I'll add this. Looks good. It's definitely one that we're all familiar with here. YMI, another former runner in the past, pop and drop type of stock at least. So not to say like steady runner as a swing trade, but pass on that for right now. A Jasper from earlier. This is like the personification of pop and drop. You could, of course, see it back from, last week or the week before. Popped, dropped, and it made that same move just in one day. So, all right. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that's up percentage-wise, folks. In the meantime, before I even jump over to the losers list, a little update on that NEGG trade really quick. I caught it live from the corner of my eye right now. But if you happen to see here, there happens to be about a 61,000 share iceberg order. It just popped up. Like, we're talking in the last 1 minute, last 60 seconds. So perhaps that's the little extra kick that this can need in order for this to pop up towards 3. Just keep your eye on this price, 270, though. Make sure there's no funny business as I pull this away. See if that order doesn't get completely pulled or not. It's right there on my level 3, my matrix right here, too, if you could see. All right, so let's hop over to the loser side. I would say that there's not going to be a whole lot on the loser side, but there are a couple of names. I'll look at them. I don't know if they're going to be great trades now for us, but obviously want to go over Bed Bath Beyond, for as much of a run this had this week. You figured at some point this would get killed, but geez, this was like all throughout the morning it dumped off. It broke lower heading into like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It looks like a disaster right now. If you could short it, that's your trade for the afternoon. It's hard to borrow on my TradeStation platform, though, so I'll pass. BKKT, it is shortable, but it's just flat. Just because it's easy to borrow doesn't mean that we need to follow it, so it's just dead. CVNA, I still have some lines set up. I was prepping up my chart going into the open today. I forgot I half-assed some lines here on CVNA even, so I wasn't as inclined to follow this into the open because I was expecting a drop, but it's pretty funny. It looks like my chart levels, more than anything, played out pretty well as support, the purple lines at least there. Just drew some regular chart levels just from the daily chart there and ended up seeing 645 bottom out, 670 holding now as support. It's cool to see. It goes to show that your level identification's on point, all that. But, right now, unless if you could short CVNA, I don't think that you should have a big interest in this. CPS, now, if the order book was any better, I would definitely be interested in this trade. Nice drop-off throughout the morning. It's near the lows. It's shortable. You could also say this thing had a huge run up over the last couple of weeks from the end of last year to yesterday. I mean, everyday green. I don't know what the hell this company does. Cooper Standard Holdings. I'm unfamiliar, but nevertheless, if the order book was a bit more filled in, I would definitely put it on our watch list as a short. But it's a Friday. We got Monday off. Keep that in mind too. I'll say that about 3 more times before we close out our session here. But markets are going to be closed this upcoming Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So, hey, it's holiday weekend, right? You're going to be taking the family out for a trip. You want to leave work early, right? So I'm not expecting like a really strong market into this close, up or down. If the markets pop higher, close to 400, then we'll take it. But it's to say on CPS, like not a great need to add that on our list. Rivian dropped off from the morning. I didn't really notice that until right now. So my first look at this trade, but I'm going to pass on it. All right. To finish up the loser side here, not much otherwise, and I'd expect. Just wanted to go over Bed Bath and Carvana mainly. All right, so folks, let me know if there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than that 5% just in the chat board for all of us on Facebook Live, YouTube, and otherwise for all of us inside the live trading room. Gotta get used to this new streaming software here because otherwise I gotta put that little link up on the bottom of the stream for all of us on YouTube. Let's go Carvana. Got one of us saying there, LFG Carvana, right? I mean, hey, as far as a long yesterday, it treated us really well. And the day before that, you got to expect for it to pull back, though. What goes up comes back down. And if a stock keeps pushing up and up and up, it's a day trade. It's not a swing trade, right? So you can look to get back in if the stock affords you that chance. But hey, we're all humans, right? And we have not just expectations, but emotions on the line as we're risking our real money. So, hey, just look at Kala. It was Kala. It went up God knows how much percent, right? Well, I'm sure after a certain point, not even I'm sure, after a certain point, I, said, you know what, we're not going to trade this stock. We're going to step away. We're expecting a pullback, and it kept going. It kept giving. So you're going to be wrong. You're not going to always be perfect with your anticipations of what a stock will do. But, yeah, for as much as Carvana went up, you got to expect the big trees to fall hard, right? All right. All right, folks, I think that's going to wrap it up at least. Nothing really else on Facebook Live or YouTube. Nothing else inside the live trading room that looks tempting. I got a little discussion on TQQQ, but we're following the stock market, folks. It's the same thing as the SPY, right? So markets are moving up. All right, we're going to call it for right now, folks. For all of us on Facebook Live or YouTube, if you have any other questions, feel more than free to send it over through email. You can post it right to josh@ctutrading.com. I always like to post my email at the end of these streams. If you haven't checked out our most recent video on YouTube, make sure to do so, especially if you're interested in indicators. Just went over just a Fibonacci indicator, not retracements or extensions, something I feel a lot of us are not really too familiar with. So make sure to check that out. But otherwise, enjoy the weekend, and we'll catch back with everyone on Tuesday. Again, markets are going to be closed upcoming on the 16th, to be exact, for Martin Luther King Day. Rich will be on the mic from 3 to 3:30, but I'm getting the hot tag to wrap things up for us going into the close, folks. So I will be back on the mic at 3:30, taking us into the market close. I look forward to it. Take care.